What are your biggest challenges right now?
Groceries. Eggs aren't getting any cheaper. You know, I have a 21-year-old son, my daughter's pregnant, and milk is $4, $5 a gallon, and it's just eating is the hardest part. It's almost becoming cheaper to eat out.
The eggs went from $2 to $9. I'm like, okay, when did we get here?
That's the only downside right now is now we have to pay more to get more groceries.
I mean, they're going up.
It is a fact that grocery prices are going up. Where I live, ground beef, $11 a pound. So when Trump goes on 60 Minutes and tells us that prices are way down, it's absolutely insulting, because that right there, that does not lie. That is what we're paying at the register. But the American people were just polled on it. This is the Ground News summary. If you don't know what Ground News is, they're awesome. Go to ground.news/CFH. 6 in 10 blame President Donald Trump for inflation. And right here, 76% of Americans report surging grocery prices because they know they're the ones that are paying the bill at the checkout. So I find it very interesting that only 7% of Trump supporters regret their vote. And the reason is because Trump supporters are not reading stories like this about how unpopular Donald Trump is. Look at this. This is the Ground News media bias chart. 0% of right-leaning media outlets are covering this story and this poll, and that is a problem. If you're an OG follower of mine, you'll remember my father. He was a huge Trump supporter, and I opened his eyes, and I did that by showing him news articles that he has never seen before. And Ground News has that feature built in. It's called the Ground News Blind Spot. This is what I read to prepare my arguments when I'm talking to my father, because he still kind of wavers. So if you want to cut through the propaganda and become media literate, check out ground.news/CFH. Get 40% off the Vantage program. It's pretty cool. I've been using Ground News for a long time. You can check out the link in the link tree in my bio.
A little while back, President Trump was talking about trying to bring the prices of groceries down for Americans. And today, I mean, I don't know much about it because I hadn't been following it very closely, but I was at Walmart October 27th on a Monday afternoon, and there were, I mean, it looked like Black Friday in there. There were so many people, and the lines were long. So, you know, and everybody's like, well, you know, the government don't really have that much pull over, they don't have that much control over prices. I don't know. You know, I read today that the SNAP benefits won't be paid out in November. So if I was the government and I wanted to crash grocery prices so that Americans didn't have to pay so much at the grocery store, that may be one way to have control, because you're eliminating millions of people from being able to go buy groceries with those SNAP benefits. That'd be billions of dollars basically that have been earmarked for all these years for the grocery stores that they're not going to receive in November. So what do you think is going to happen to the price of groceries? I'll tell you what, for my beef producing friends out there who've been getting out the last few weeks, you probably got out at a real good time. I really do think that we're about to see something major, you know, if our government can't come to terms and open back up. So anyway, feel awful for my folks that are out there not getting to work, not making money, and feel really bad about people who are going to be victims of this deal. So anyway, hey, y'all hang on out there. Love you, mean it.
Trump just punished grocery stores for helping hungry families. Some grocery stores were doing the right thing, giving a few dollars off for families using SNAP. Just small discounts meant to help people stretch their benefits when everything costs more than it did last month. But now Trump's USDA has warned those stores that if they keep offering those discounts, they could lose their right to accept SNAP entirely. And guess what's happening? Some stores are already pulling those discounts back out of fear. Think about that. The government isn't angry at corporations raising prices. They're angry at stores trying to make food cheaper. They're not protecting fairness. They're protecting control. They're calling it the equal treatment rule. But equality isn't when rich and poor both have the right to pay full price. It's when the poor actually have a fair shot to eat. Over 40 million rely on SNAP just to survive. And Trump's administration is now threatening a few stores that actually care enough to help. And that's not leadership. That's cruelty disguised as policy. If you care about this, share it, because silence is exactly what they're counting on.
Have y'all seen the trend where people are posting their past grocery orders from a couple years ago and comparing it till now and looking at the inflation rate? This shit is crazy. Read this shit. My husband and I were talking last night about how a 12-pack of drinks is now $9 and how in 2020 I used to buy them 4 for $10. I decided to go back into my Walmart app and see what I was paying for a random grocery order. In January of 2020, I paid $70.20 for 30 items. I added all of them into the cart again and repurchased them today. Today, those 30 items were $165.42. That's a $95.22 price increase in 4 years' time. That's a 135.6% inflation percentage. We can't go on living like this. I can't be the only one who feels this way. You know what? No, you're not the only one. Matter of fact, I ordered some shit from Walmart the other day and spent $100. Let me show you what I got. Now, I probably should have laid everything out so y'all could see it, but as you can see, it's really not that much. All that shit cost me $113 at Walmart, of all places.
We used to be a proper country. We used to be a proper country. We used to be a proper country. We used to be a proper country.
Man, I know a lot of people say this, but I feel like it's unfair that we had to grow up and become adults in the most unaffordable time in human history. Like, bro, grocery bill too high, rent too high, bills in general too high, just your day-to-day activities too high. Like, bro, why gotta be us? Like, why, big bro?
Grocery stores was like, okay, well, if you're on food stamps, you pay for your food with food stamps, they were going to make the groceries 50% off. So you would get a 50% grocery discount. Since you're only getting 50% of your money this month, you're going to get a 50% discount on your SNAP benefits. The Trump administration came back and said, hell no. Nah. Sent the email and said, nope, that's a violation. Matter of fact, I wrote it down. It said that USDA, right? So the USDA, the United States Department of Agriculture, from the Trump administration, sent out an email to them grocery stores, telling the grocery stores that they had to comply with the SNAP equal treatment rule, right? So what the SNAP equal treatment rule is it prohibits SNAP recipients from being discriminated against or incentivized. So basically, what the Trump administration told these grocery stores was, you're in violation of this rule if you lower the price of groceries for people just because they on SNAP. We don't care that they're only getting 50% of the money that they need to support themselves this month. Groceries is 100% of the cost. And if you violate that rule, if you make these groceries 50% less, right? If you violate that, then what we're going to do is make sure that you're not allowed to receive SNAP recipients money ever, right? So you won't be able to accept food stamps at your store no more. Now, that's the thing. There is a waiver. So these grocery stores could apply for a SNAP equal treatment waiver.
Yo, you ever walk through a grocery store lately and just pause? Not because you're forgetting something, but because you're trying to figure out what can you afford to leave behind. Bread used to be a couple of dollars. Eggs used to be a couple of dollars. Now it feels like you got to make a choice between that and gas money. It's wild, man. Groceries, something so basic, so necessary, it's starting to feel like a luxury item this holiday season. Man, this time of year used to be about giving gifts, cooking big meals, and bringing people together. Now it's like everyone's just trying to make it. It's trying to make it through that checkout line without breaking down. People aren't being greedy. They're just tired, man. Tired of watching prices rise, paychecks stay the same, and you know the paycheck's gonna stay the same. Sheesh, man. They tired of having to, say maybe next week to their kids over something so simple as cereal or snacks, like, man, this time of season, used to feel the Christmas spirit. It's not feeling so Christmassy this year, and Thanksgiving ain't hitting either. Shoot, it's gonna say the Walmart. It's gonna have the Great Value brand on all the food packets at the dang Thanksgiving spot this year. And it's not just it's not just about the price numbers though. Let's get back on track. It's dignity. It's walking out the store with 2 bags knowing you just spent $1,000. It's that quiet anxiety before you swipe your card hoping it goes through. This holiday season is not about the gifts under the tree like it should be. It's about being grateful for groceries in the fridge, because for a lot of people, that's the real miracle this year. So if you're watching this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're feeling the same, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And know you're not alone. We all trying to stretch what little we have with who we love and still keep a little joy in the mix. Let's not forget to check on each other, share a meal, drop off a bag, and lend a hand to your neighbor if need. Because this season isn't just about surviving. This season, people might start robbing and stealing and popping out with them switches. So stay dangerous and let's keep it going.